So I'm here at Down Home and I'm talking to Peggy. Now Peggy, what do you do here?
I work my butt off here.
Okay, you're the co-owner.
That's right.
And so I understand. What was the line like in the morning? How was what time did you open up?
We opened at 10. By 9 o'clock the line was forming and we had lined down our building, and so we felt really blessed about that, and it's been hopping ever since.
It's been hopping ever since.
It's a little slowed down now, but
so
pretty much.
What was the aisle like this morning? When you opened up at 10 o'clock, do you remember who was the first person who was in?
Did we have the first person in line this time? Or I have her picture.
Well, let's see her picture.
Hey, how are you doing?
Hanging in there.
Good. She'll definitely be on our website. She'll be
on
our website. We always post our first person in line.
Well, good. Tell me her name,
I don't know if we have
where she's from, her social security number, and whether she has
her birthday
any.
and her weight.
Well, whether she has any.
That's our first person in line.
Okay, so this is the first person in line. Do you remember her name?
Don't.
Okay, so she will go anonymous. Security screen.
There it is. Gotta see who's coming in our store.
Okay. Do you remember any
Kathy.
Kathy, okay.
interesting items that were sold today?
Oh my goodness.
That thing from your primitive room, that was really cool.
Well, that big sampler.
Oh, yeah.
The thing from your can you show me your primitive room?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, we are going to see. See, she has gone primitive, and we're going to see.
All mine up here though too.
But is this the primitive room?
No, I'll show you.
Okay, so this is just another one of your
That's my
No,
cabinet.
that's your cabinet room.
I sat on the chicken thing and just watched him.
Okay.
This is my primitive room.
Okay, this is the famous primitive room that we've been hearing all about. Now, what was that great item that was sold from the primitive room?
The great item was
Yes.
a 19th century sampler
A 19th century
that had a mother's like 12 children documented on it.
All 12 children were
All 12,
documented.
yes.
I guess if I had 12 children,
Yeah.
I'd be doing some
Right.
documentation. Now, how old would you say that sampler was?
That was like from the 1850s.
1850s,
Yes.
back in what would be called the good old days.
good old days.
Now, is that an Amish sampler, or what would you say the ethnicity or the religion of that sampler is associated with?
It was a Christian sampler, and it was from New England.
It was from New England.
Yes.
And so we document. Now, how did it document the 12 kids? Did it have like little?
Names and birth dates.
Do you remember any of the names? So the birth date, since this was 1850, the birth dates were probably like in the 1840s or something like
It was the birth dates. Looked like she had done it ongoing. So the dates were like I don't know, like a 15-year span.
So she was pregnant almost the entire time.
The entire time.
And so where did you get that from? Round Top, or where did you get that from?
I actually did get that in Texas.
Texas.
So not Round Top, in Texas, but when I was at Round Top at a different location.
Oh, I see. When you went to Round Top,
Yeah.
you were doing some
I
extracurricular
was.
buying. But
Yes.
we won't even mention that. Why don't you tell me about an interesting item that you do have here right now that I could get a spectacular shot of?
Well, not everybody would see the beauty of this horse, but he's one of my favorites.
Of this poor pathetic horse
Beautiful
that's
horse, loved to death.
obviously had a very tough
Yes.
life. Now,
But
what
that's
do you?
the kind of thing I love. I don't
No.
like him to be in necessarily mint condition.
Oh, you don't.
I like him to show their use and their wear, not abused, but used.
Well,
in their
I
age.
think he verges on. He was never abused.
No,
he obviously had a hard
loved.
life. Now, what can you tell me? No, what is his name? Is this Pokey?
Yes, Pokey. Yeah.
So this is Pokey. So how old would you say Pokey was? From your expertise and having been doing this stuff for so many years, you probably have an idea. This would be called folk art, right? This would be
I would say he verges on folk art.
Okay, he verges
Yes.
on folk. I doubt that this was made in mass production.
No.
And so how old would you say, when was the great Pokey era?
He would probably be from around the 1870s or so.
Okay, around 1870s
yeah, he's got his
or
original old red paint
so. Uh-huh.
and handmade, obviously.
I would think so,
Yeah.
yes. This didn't look like what I would call in a real industrial age
No.
kind of thing. So
No.
this was probably made. Now, what part of the country would you say this from? Is this from Iowa, would you say?
No, again,
This is not New York, of course.
no, but I think it was from Pennsylvania is where we found it.
Oh, you found it
Yeah.
in... Now, what were you doing in Pennsylvania? Is there some show there? Or you were just on some other trip?
Last August, we drove from New York and drove home. So we stopped different places all along the way.
Oh,
and shopped.
so you just... And what city in Pennsylvania was this associated
That
with?
I would have to look up. I don't.
Well, when
it's
you
all
go
a little
to...
bit of a blur
When you go to...
me now.
when you go all the way from New York to Los Angeles,
I
it's
can't
a
remember
blur.
every little item,
But
yeah,
if you
but-
were to go in Pennsylvania, where would the cities be that you'd be likely to go?
Lancaster.
Lancaster?
And a lot of it is in the Amish area and that sort of thing too. So.
Okay, so this...
But we've gone to, Philadelphia and just kind of all over.
Okay, fantastic.
That's so sweet.
You see, I'm here at Down Home, and we have discovered, one of the Gynomint twins has discovered what is known as Pitiful Bunny. Now, what can you tell me about Pitiful Bunny here? Because Pitiful Bunny has
Pitiful Bunny has
obviously
had a long,
a
hard life.
long, hard
I
life.
think the constant reproducing has done her in.
Now, since you have been involved in country stuff for a long time, you probably have some idea of how old would you say Pitiful Bunny is?
I say about
But-
1930s, 1940s.
About the 30s and the 40s.
Yes,
Somewhere that was the great Pitiful Bunny era.
I think so.
I'm here at Down Home, and we have the most amazing sight. We have the Down Home twins and the Gyno twins all at one time. This has never been seen before.
You lost us at that one.
This is the Great Arrow. Now, Peggy, what can you tell me about the Great Arrow?
The Great Arrow was outside a shop probably back in the 40s or so.
This is
And it's all original and it's amazing.
It's an original. If someone would you sell it to someone?
You know what? I think we did actually.
You did. What would it sell for? What was it listed at?
It was listed at $600.
Okay, fantastic. But in this particular case, what is your name, young lady?
Chris.
Chris what?
Sup.
Chris what?
Sup.
Sup. And so Chris, what city do you live in?
Orange.
You live in Orange. So you had just bought some lockers from Down Home, and you're going to take these lockers and put these in your laundry room? Okay. Well, you will be the envy of all the other laundry people in Orange.
That's right.
You never know.